Michael Burry, Michael Burry, Michael Burry. We're coming into an important week for GameStop, and we're going to have another video on it tomorrow, along with silver, because there's a lot going on here. But first of all, what is going on with Michael Burry? We know, we've talked about it. He had correlation with Warren Kitty. He had letters to the board over at GameStop. He had talks with Ryan Cohen. But he came out and he said, it was complicated with GME. In some ways, I wasn't really done in Q4 of 2019. Posting more screenshots, one from Ryan Cohen and then one from Scion Asset Management, which was his company that recently actually got closed down. And then now we are possibly supposed to get something from him Sunday night, possibly on GameStop. Again, possibly. So hinting at a post Sunday night for GameStop is very important. Why is that important? Based on our cycle patterns and based on when Roaring Kitty tweeted, Roaring Kitty came back May 12th of 2024 tweeting this guy paying attention. Okay, that's back here. That is in fact the same cycle that we have been tracking, and coincidentally, if Burry plans to line up a tweet here, that is the same exact move that we saw back in May of 2024. And the same thing with Roaring Kitty. This is what I said back then, and I'll say it now again, is that they come out, or there's a quote-unquote catalyst when there's supposed to be a catalyst. So as soon as there's a point of interest, Roaring Kitty knew that, and he dropped a tweet. I believe a very similar thing is going to happen with Michael Burry, and in fact, Michael Burry is possibly still in talks with Roaring Kitty, because who's ever said that they've cut their conversating back in 2020? Okay, and then we also have this. Roaring Kitty posted Burry's 11. This is an old post that didn't have a ton of likes, but people are now sharing it because the retail community is very, very powerful. On top of that, Burry did have the Remember GME post pinned. He did have that pinned for a little bit. He did change the post, and now people are saying that the post he does have pinned is very similar to GameStop as a company. I did not read through this, so I am not confirming that. But alongside all that, the tin is still holding up. Also, I've been talking about GameStop reporting earnings on the 3rd of December. It is December 9th. And that is their official announcement for their earnings. It is December 9th. So they are not releasing it this week. That is something to note, pay attention to. That is not this upcoming Tuesday, but the Tuesday following that is when GameStop will report earnings. GameStop warrants have been climbing. And this might be an unpopular opinion. They're up 32% in the past week. But we may not see GameStop's warrants below $3 again. And again, it might be an unpopular opinion, but if these things get up towards that $32 level, something at least closer, which I believe will likely happen towards there, that's an 800% gain. Now, something very crucial, if we're coming up on a tweet and a point of interest and move higher, if people exercise or they issue more bonds or something, some sort of possible dilution, it could stump the momentum. But we have been in calls early in the Discord server, and we are planning to make a ton of money. If you guys aren't in there yet, it's the top link in the description of the video. GMEU, the double leveraged GameStop ETF, obviously has been tracking with GameStop, was up 8% on Friday, while GameStop was up 4% on Friday. That's a 2x leverage. We're going to watch this one very closely, because when you come up on ETF rebalancing, which is going to be another one towards the end of the year, especially with the holidays, they're probably going to do it earlier than that. And this was also on the Reg SHO list, or the threshold securities list, right? This is likely to have some momentum with GameStop, some large momentum. HYMC's at basically $12. It has broken our resistance at $4.65, $6.35, $9, and now testing $11.70, our resistance, which is crazy. The stock has been flying. So AMC's investment in HYMC is doing very, very, very well. And this leads me to say that silver just hit all-time highs again. These companies, and I'm very in particularly interested to see a few, especially HYMC, and how they do and how much money AMC will make. I believe up at these levels, AMC is now break even or green or positive on their investment, and that is just a possible lingering catalyst for AMC to drop on a point of interest. AMC is still going to move with GameStop. Remember that. We talked about Intel 2 days ago, and this is so fun, or 3 days ago. So funny because we've been talking about Intel perfectly to a T. And so if you're not in, you're lagging behind. Is it too late? We've talked about Intel down here in the 20s, accumulated. We talked about a move higher out of this zone. You know, they got that announcement, they got government investment, whatever it was, right? Huge cup, huge handle. And I said up here at $40, when we retrace to retest and build this handle out is when to buy. Now, 3 days ago, I resurfaced and said the handle is finished. Since then, we are up. Since then, from the low of this handle, 24%. I don't think it's too late. I think now is the confirmation of Intel's parabolic move higher, parabolic momentum higher in the long run. That is just something that I want to give to you guys if you're a long-term investor, something along the lines of that, instead of just scalping or trading. I think Intel is heading up towards 5160, and possibly even higher than that, possibly higher than their all-time highs. But overall, that is basically what I got for you guys for today's video. We'll have a market prep tomorrow, talking about the earnings, some other charts, and waiting to see if Burry is going to drop something on GameStop. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I appreciate all the support and love that you guys show. Make sure to subscribe. YouTube just removed subscribers, so double check that you are subscribed and have post notifications on. Go watch the video I uploaded yesterday. Join the Discord, top link in the description. Join this weekend so that you can get to know the fam. It's a little bit quieter on the weekends while we prep for the week to start. But come make some money this week, guys. There's no point to delay it. Discord will pay for itself if you take it seriously. You have patience, you take one trade, Discord pays for itself forever, basically. My top link in the description is Discord, and then my custom indicator if you want that as well. That is it, guys. I love you all. God bless. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Lottery Stocks out.